Welcome back, everyone. Week 3 previews and analysis. This video for the divisional rival game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. This game will take place in Philadelphia. Philadelphia coming in with a record of 2-0 on the heels of a thrilling win at Indianapolis on Monday Night Football last week. And then you have Washington with a record of 1-1, looking terrible in Week 1, a Week 1 loss, but rebounding in a big way last week, winning at home and trouncing the Jaguars 41-10. And for the Eagles, they're without Mathis and they're without Lane Johnson. I don't think it hurt them as much as it could have last week against Indianapolis because they have no one that could sack the quarterback. When you look at Washington and what they did last week to that Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line, which is a lot worse than the Eagles offensive line, even as it's presently constituted. But Washington has some guys who can get after the quarterback. So for me, when you have a quarterback in Nick Foles, who hasn't played great the first 2 weeks, if you look at the numbers and you really watch some of his film and some of his throws, he's had even more receivers running wide open than you would even think. And he's been able to put up numbers. They've been able to put up points. But with an offensive line that's a little bit banged up, is this the week we see teams get to Nick Foles in a big way? I think that's where this game is going to be won or lost for the Eagles, how that offensive line protects Nick Foles. Also, when they protect Nick Foles, they'll be able to get LaShawn McCoy more involved. When you look at Washington, Washington's offense looked a little bit better with Kirk Cousins, but I always pause for concern with backup quarterbacks because, they're the flavor of the day. When they come in for a game or a game and a half or even sometimes 2 or 3 games, they can look good. But the longer they're in there, the more tape there is out on them, sometimes they begin to struggle. At what point does that happen for Kirk Cousins? Is it this week against an Eagles defense that is not a great unit, all right? But they do what they need to do in order to put their offense in favorable situations. I mean, that defense for the Eagles is sometimes put into some tough spots because of how quick sometimes they're right back on the field because of the pace that this Eagles offense plays under. But this Eagle defense, if you remember, as the season went on last year, really peaked. So I think this is a unit you'll see, again, get better as the season goes on here. They have let up some points, though, in the first 2 weeks. On the flip side, that Redskins defense, look, the Redskins defense, good in the front 7 in my mind, not very good whatsoever in the back end. So again, I think a lot of the Redskins' success is going to be predicated on can they get pressure on Nick Foles. If not, I have no reason to believe that the receivers for Philadelphia won't be running free like they were the first 2 weeks here. So will DeSean Jackson play? That still seems to be up in the air. I do think Washington will be able to get the running game going with Alfred Morris. If you look, he's a pretty consistent running back in terms of putting up numbers. He does it very quietly, but they always seem to put up numbers running the ball with Morris. But again, Jay Gruden, as I say every week, with the penchant to pass more than he wants to pass more than he wants to run. How committed is he to Alfred Morris? I think he needs to be in this game with the quick strike offense that the Eagles will feature. DeSean Jackson, to me, is the wild card in this game. If he does play, I sort of expect big things from him going back to Philadelphia, a team that I think he felt, for better or for worse, just gave up on him. Whether that's a true story, who knows? I don't think we'll ever know. But I think this is going to be a better game than a lot of people think. I think the Washington pass rush does disrupt Nick Foles enough to make this game close. And I think Jay Gruden knows he still has a backup quarterback and Cousins in there, and it would serve him well to get Morris going early and often. So I like Philadelphia to pull this game out. Okay, I think it's going to be one of these things where they wear out the Redskins with a strong fourth quarter. Okay, like they really have the first 2 weeks. So I like the Redskins +5, but I like the Eagles to win the game outright. And actually, the line I have is the Redskins +5.5. So I like the Redskins +5.5 and the Eagles to win the game outright. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe. Preview every game every week. Always talking about the NFL. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.